Well, all right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. It is your buddy CJ here, and tonight we're talking about all things automotive industry, the car guy hobby, cars, all the things that those real gearheads love talking about. Real gearhead talk. You know this is the place to be for that real gearhead talk. Guys, welcome back. Your buddy CJ loves and appreciates each and every one of you. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Everybody following me on Instagram, Hot Seat Gearheads. Come on. We have a lot of fun around here. We talk about exotic cars and classic cars, automotive events, rallies, road trips, car guy destinations, all the things that we as automotive enthusiasts uniquely enjoy talking about it. We talk about it in an unfettered, unbiased manner where it's just candid talk about cars. That's what it is. Listen, since I was a kid, since your buddy CJ was a kid, you know what we did? Back in the day, we bought the automotive magazines, Motor Trend, Car and Driver, Hot Rod Magazine. We sat down at the bus stop or at the lunch table, and we talked about cars. Somebody was a Ford guy. Somebody was a BMW guy. Somebody else was into Camaros, whatever. And we debated it. We debated it all day at school. And then on the weekends, and then at the ball field, we debate. Listen, we were young gearheads, right? And then as you grow up and you get a car, you start hanging out with your buddies and you're cruising the streets. You're all about the cars. And then you become an adult. And then you get to where your buddy CJ is in life. And you're still a total gearhead. Listen, this is what we do, guys. So hopefully you feel me. And if you think like I do and you really enjoy the automotive enthusiast hobby, you're in the right place. So come on, let's get right into it. Leave me those comments, guys. Give me a like and subscribe. You know your buddy CJ responds to all the comments that I can. Guys, I've been having so much fun lately, traveling around, meeting so many of you guys at the automotive events, and just having a blast. So I wanted to come on here and talk about a few things going on in the automotive industry that I think are of interest to us uniquely. So come on, let's go ahead and get right into it. Guys, check this out. First things first. New Ferrari F80. The new Ferrari F80 has been announced. Anytime Ferrari comes out with a new flagship supercar or hypercar, it's news. I don't care if you're into muscle cars. I don't care if you're into EVs. I don't care if you're into JDM, whatever. When Ferrari comes out with a new Halo car, top of the line, it's news. And listen, this is a special machine. So Ferrari F80, they're only going to build about 799 units. Sorry, guys, they're all spoken for already. I know many of you were going to run out and buy one of these after hearing about it from your buddy CJ. But newsflash, now the bad news. These cars are going for between $3 and $4 million anyway. By the time your typical high-end enthusiast collector specs one of these out, they're going to be pushing $4 million. So a super special car. We're talking about a hybrid V6 drivetrain, okay? Pushing nearly 1,200 horsepower. Are you kidding me? All-wheel drive, V6, twin turbo with 3 electric motors. Guys, this is a special car with big performance. We're talking about 200 miles per hour plus, forget it, okay? We're talking about 0 to 60, somewhere around 2 seconds, okay? It's ridiculous. But the story about this car is all of the high tech, the leading edge, bleeding edge engineering and innovation that goes into it. Everything just over the top all the time. 8-speed dual clutch, F1 inspired, 3.0 liter, 900 horsepower just from the V6. I'll say that again. V6 pushing 900 horsepower. A lot of you guys will complain and poo-poo like, oh, Ferrari's going V6. Yeah, listen. Ferrari's always been about the F1 racing technology. F1 is pushing the limits today, okay, out of what they can get out of a V6 platform. Of course they're incorporating that. Just like the old F1 transmissions, the automated manual transmissions that Ferrari started putting in its cars, that all came out of the F1 racing program. So there should be no surprise there. And I know for many of you there isn't, but I had a couple guys say to me recently, oh, CJ, they should have put a V12 in it. Well, they've got the 12 Cylindri number 1, which has all that room out front as a front engine car. Okay, this is a rear mid-engine car, the F80, and it's F1 inspired, if you will. It's basically a race car for the street, but not really, because most of these will go into super rich guy collections, and you and I will never ever drive one. Okay, we'll never see one. Some of us won't. Some of us will. Kind of cool. Listen, the 2 electric motors on the front wheel, and then 1 electric motor integrated with the drivetrain. 48-volt electric suspension. Now, the good news for those guys willing to spend $3 to $4 million on a car, and it's a hybrid, and you're a bit concerned, don't worry, fellas. Ferrari's going to have a battery replacement program. So unlike those Teslas and those BMW i8s that we're all afraid to buy because we're worried about the batteries melting down, don't worry about it. And your $3 to $4 million Ferrari, for at least a couple of years, Ferrari's going to replace those batteries, fellas. So don't worry about it. You're good. Guys, let's take a look at a couple of the shots of the Ferrari F80. Check it out, the Ferrari F80 interior. Now, one thing that I think is kind of interesting is they ended up going with a 2-seater, right? But you'll notice the passenger seat is kind of offset and it's kind of to the rear, I believe. And you're basically sitting on kind of a plank. You're not sitting on much of a seat. This car is all about the driver, okay? And you can see that even from this shot, right? Everything is geared towards the driver, okay? And the passenger, if you're there, just sit down, buckle up, shut up, and hold on. But that's what the interior of your Ferrari F80 is going to look like. Very much consistent with an extreme, like a GT3 oriented or track focused supercar of the modern era, about what you'd expect, right? They don't look like comfy seats. They look like racing seats. And this car does have a harness in it. Like, this thing's ready for the track. And most of your human beings who can afford to buy one of these cars will probably not track it. Just a guess. Some will, no doubt. But many of these cars will see the ins and outs of private collections and the concours events, the fancy events at Amelia Island and other places, and will be traded amongst the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Guys, come on. Are we having fun tonight or what? Why don't we take one more look at the Ferrari F80? Now, guys, with the Ferrari F80, not unlike the 12 Cylindri, I'm going to come out and say what needs to be said. This is not a beautiful car. This is not a beautiful Ferrari. Ferrari 458 is a beautiful Ferrari. Ferrari F80 is not really, in my mind, too easy on the eyes. It's kind of got a harsh look, if you will. It's an intense look. It's kind of, Ferrari says a lot of their newer designs are kind of sci-fi inspired. And I'm picking that up. This almost looks like a spaceship or some sort of visor on a robot in outer space, looking at it from the front. And listen, I don't care if you disagree with me. Leave me those comments. It's totally cool. But Ferrari F80, track-focused Halo car, ultimate supercar from Ferrari for the modern era. But by no means, I'd say, is this one of those work of art Ferraris. Like, I even love the beautiful flowing lines of like a Ferrari 360 or even, 430. You can even trace it 458 all the way up to the 488. Okay. I think those are all beautiful cars in their own right. Not so much the 430, but the other ones for sure. This thing, it's more of an intense, striking look, but not the flowing look. And, we'll take a look again at another shot, just one more. Why not? Because that's what we do around here. Here's the Ferrari F80 from the rear. Again, if that thing doesn't look like, I don't know, super intense race car, I don't know. It's giving Bugatti vibes to me for some reason. Am I the only one who's picking that up? But guys, Ferrari F80, $3 to $4 million by the time they're spec'd. They're only making $799. Sorry, boys, they're all spoken for. So you and I will not be getting one. But it's always news, guys. When Ferrari announces a new car, it's always news for gearheads. But what do you think? Let's keep moving because there's a couple other things I want to talk to you guys about. Another new car, and this one is attainable for most. I want to take a look at it because we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the Porsche 911 Carrera T for 2025. A couple things about the Carrera T spec for those who know about this. Number one, for 2025, 911 Carrera T will be available specifically and only in a 6-speed manual transmission, no PDK automatic transmission in the Carrera T. You're going to have a walnut shift knob, which I think is kind of cool. It's made of wood, like just kind of a throwback, right? Who has a wood shift knob out of the factory in 2025? Thank you, Porsche, for doing something really cool. This car will have less of the sound deadening in it. It will have a 3.0 liter flat six with the sport exhaust. You're not talking about huge performance out of the Carrera T, but that's not really what the Carrera T is all about. The Carrera T kind of bridges the gap between a base Carrera and a Carrera S. Your Carrera S is really, in my view, your entree into a high-performance Porsche. The base Carrera is plenty of power and performance to have a great time, but if you want to really step up from a performance standpoint, you go Carrera S, and then maybe GTS, right? Let's not even talk about GT3 Turbo S. Carrera T kind of bridges the gap, and I don't know how well these are selling, but I will tell you, 3.0 liter twin turbo, 388 horsepower. It's no slouch, but 0 to 60 is like 4.6 seconds, something like that. 4.3 seconds, I'm sorry. So it's not going to melt your face, but this is a driver's car. It's more about the experience, the precision, the handling, the quality that you're going to get from this new Porsche 911. It's going to be fantastic, but it's not going to be the face melter that is a turbo or a Turbo S. It's just not. This is more of the geared towards the more attainable enthusiasts build. I believe these are going to come standard with rear axle steering, which I think is kind of cool. Now the bad news. Porsche 911 Carrera T starting at $134,000. So we're not even talking about a Carrera S. This is a Carrera T for $134,000 before options, people. You're not getting out of the Porsche dealership for Carrera T for less than $150K. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. By the time you start adding the options you're going to want as an automotive enthusiast, and if you're a Porsche 911 guy, it's all about the spec. You got to have a good spec, right? And a Carrera T trim is an interesting trim, but you're going to want to get the right options, just like any other 911. Guys, I want to take a look at another shot of the Carrera T. Are we having fun tonight? Is anyone having as much fun as us? The answer is no. Nobody else on the whole internet is having as much fun as us right now. And let's keep doing it. This is what I was telling you about. The Carrera T is only available with that manual transmission. Look at that walnut shift lever. How cool is that? I want to go sit in this car and drive it right now. 3 pedals, manual transmission, 6-speed. This one looks like it has a sports chrono package. You can see the little clock, the dial in the center of the dash there. This is a well-appointed Porsche 911 Carrera T, a blast to drive. That's going to be a good place to sit and drive around on a Saturday or Sunday, do the mountains, on the road trip, whatever. Just a great car, right? Now, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real with you because you know your buddy CJ always keeps it real and tells you like it is, in my opinion. Here's another look at the Porsche 911 Carrera T. What am I going to tell you? Do not buy this car. Fellas, do not buy a Porsche 911 Carrera T. And I will tell you why. With a starting price of about $134,000 for a manual transmission base drivetrain, what I'm going to suggest is that you go Porsche 911 shopping. I'll go with you, right? There are so many great 911s available for between, let's say, $75,000 and $100,000. You can have your pick of some absolutely incredible Porsche 911s with manual transmissions in the 997 generation, okay? Like a 2012 or something, 2011. In the 991 generation, get a Carrera or a Carrera S, maybe with some miles, maybe something a little lower in mileage. If you in that sweet spot, if you want a fun to drive Porsche 911, something you can drive the heck out of on the weekends, take to Cars and Coffee, daily it if you choose, take it to the grocery store, just have an absolute blast. Unless you need a brand new car and you must have a new 911, do not buy the Carrera T. As a matter of fact, because I love you and care about you, your buddy CJ is going to show you an example of an absolutely fantastic Porsche 911 you should consider buying instead of the Carrera T. Okay? I put my money where my mouth is, fellas. You know your buddy CJ is always looking out for you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So check this out. I went online, I went to Auto Trader, and I did some searching for really cool 911s, okay, with manual transmissions in that sweet spot of $75,000 to $100,000 as alternatives for Porsche 911 Carrera Ts. And look at this. This is a 2012 Porsche 911 Carrera Black Edition. Now, this one happens to be a convertible cabriolet, but let me tell you something. This is a special edition 911. They didn't make that many of the black editions. I don't know how many, but this is a really cool enthusiast car. It's a 911. It's a Porsche. You are going to love it. Love it. This one has like 12,000 miles on it. It's a baby. I want to go buy this car. If you're interested in this car, I have no skin in the game. I'm completely independent, always have been, always will be. You guys reach out to me. We'll go look at this car. I will meet you. I will fly in and meet you to go look at this car. You drive it. I want to hear your reaction. I want to drive it too. I may end up buying it. Like, guys, seriously, this is a fantastic car. And it's not like you say, well, CJ, it's an old car. No, it isn't. It was about a year and a half ago, I drove my buddy's 20-year-old Porsche Boxster. You know how tight that thing was? This thing had some miles on it. I wanted to buy that car. If you don't know about Porsche quality, driving experience, okay, you need to go 911 shopping with your buddy CJ. Let me tell you something. Do I get excited about these things? Yes, I do. Because you don't have to spend a lot to get an absolutely incredible 911. Now, let me walk that back. Yes, Porsche 911, that's a premium car. That's a premium brand. But you don't have to get into upper six figures. You don't have to get into, 150K cars necessarily. If we had a Carrera T 2025 parked next to this 2012 Carrera Black Edition, both with manual 6-speed transmissions, and we drove them both. Now, of course, the 2025 Carrera T, it's twin turbo, it's newer, it's going to have more tech, of course. From that standpoint, it's a better car. But what I'm talking about is, as an enthusiast, which car you want to buy. If you're not super rich, where you're just going to burn money and you don't care, just give me the newest, well, you're probably not going to buy a Carrera T anyway. You're probably going to go Turbo S, GT3 RS, Special Edition. You don't want the Carrera T. I'm talking about the real automotive enthusiast. Every man out there, your average automotive enthusiast. Let's go 911 shopping together, fellas. And I'm serious when I say this. The 997 generation, the 991 generation, there's some absolutely beautiful cars out there that you can enjoy just as much as that brand new 2025 Carrera T, but you don't have to spend $150K on it. Or if you want to spend $130 to $150K, you can get like a used Carrera S or GTS, maybe a turbo. Now we're talking about a car with some serious performance and street cred, as opposed to a Carrera T. And again, I'm not hating on you Carrera T boys. If that's what you want, go buy it. I'm just telling you there is an alternative. And I'm not a big fan. I like what Porsche is doing. Like, they're offering it as the purest spec, if you will. It's the purest trim level because it's available in a manual and it's a little bit more affordable than a Carrera S. But it's no bargain. Don't let Porsche tell you any different. It's still an expensive car for what it is. There are options. Your buddy CJ always giving it to you. Guys, one other topic I wanted to bring up tonight, something kind of interesting. So previously on one of our older episodes, I came on here and we talked about these things. Volkswagen is bringing back the Scout brand. Now, we talked about this previously. It's coming back as an EV. They've now recently announced they're going to also be adding a hybrid range extender option. What does that mean? When these things finally come to market in 2027, not only will they be EV, okay, they'll also be a hybrid version with an engine that's going to recharge the battery, right? Okay, so it's going to have an internal combustion engine, probably focused solely on charging the battery, not driving the wheels. That's not really the big news, though. The big news is that there is a civil war going on between Volkswagen corporate, who is bringing back the Scout brand EV, pickup truck, and SUV, and their dealerships, because Volkswagen wants to market these things direct to consumer. Does this sound familiar? This is what Tesla is doing. Tesla, the disruptor in the industry, going direct to consumer. Right now, tonight, you and I can go and configure and buy a Tesla online and then pick it up when it's ready, or maybe they'll deliver it to your house. I don't know. Volkswagen, instead of distributing the Scouts through dealerships, which is what the dealerships want, because they want their piece of the action, right? They want their commissions. They want to drive revenue. They want to drive sales. They want to drive traffic into the dealerships. Volkswagen wants to cut them out and go direct to consumer. Okay? It's the way of the future. This is the Amazon era, right? We don't want to go to the store. We don't want to go to the mall. We don't want to go to the dealership. I want to go on my phone and order my car. I don't, but many people do. You know, so these are fascinating times. Now, what I will tell you is get ready for the litigation, right? The dealerships, the NADA, okay? They're all going after Volkswagen hard here. Why? Because they feel like they're being cut out. They want a piece of the action with the Scout. Now, here's what I say. You ready? I say, listen, Volkswagen's thinking in the spirit of innovating, offering a sales model that the consumer wants. God forbid we do something the consumer wants. I understand the dealerships, right? I understand and empathize their position. Having said that, right? Listen, Tesla was the great disruptor here. I know a lot of people work in dealerships. They work in sales. They work in operations. They work in finance. They work in the maintenance departments, all these things. I understand that. They employ a lot of people. And I'm a proponent of that. But I'm also a proponent of innovation and doing what's right based on market demands and market trends. We've got to innovate. We've got to evolve. And I think Volkswagen is thinking proactively. I know there's another way to look at it. Well, CJ, they're screwing over the dealerships. Well, dealerships, maybe you need to up your game and do something different. By lawyering up and getting with the trade organization and attacking the mothership, Volkswagen, is that really the best thing to do right now for business? Listen, I don't think so. And I don't know where this is going to land. But if you go to Scout's website, they're super excited about, hey, CJ, you can reserve your Scout now and configure it and all those things. They're going for that Tesla model, right? And other manufacturers are too. Another interesting thing to think about, and I'll put this up on screen again, folks, so that we can look at this together. Let me see here. Where is my Scout photo? Guys, we see the Scout's coming out with that EV SUV and that EV four-door pickup truck. Also going to be available in a hybrid. My question for you, by the time this hits the market in 2027, do we really need another EV, SUV, and pickup truck? Is the demand there? Is this Scout experiment going to fail? It's a crowded space. Okay, I'm not anti-EV. I am anti-mandatory moves to EV. I think a combination of hybrid, alternative fuels, and internal combustion coupled with EV options is fantastic if that's what you want. But I'm not a proponent of the federal and global mandates towards EV. I'm just not. I'm a realist, right? And I'm also pro-automotive industry. What I will tell you is with a crowded market segment, Land Rover Discovery, Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Gladiator, Ford Bronco, the Grenadier. What's the market share for the Scout? By the way, aren't Ford F-150 Lightnings sitting on lots? How about the Hummers? How about the Cybertrucks that have kind of fallen out of favor? Okay? Is there really a market for this thing? And I think it's going to struggle. What's my crystal ball tell me? I don't think Scout is going to be a successful experiment for Volkswagen. I appreciate bringing back the International Harvester Scout retro kind of theme. Okay. I think it's kind of cool in that aspect, but do I think they're going to establish and achieve market share, profitability, and growth? I just don't see it. Guys, leave me those comments. Let me know what you think about Volkswagen bringing back the Scout and going direct to consumer with it. But listen, guys, I wanted to come on here tonight, talk to you a little bit about the automotive industry, our favorite topics. We're talking about new cars tonight. Okay, what's going on in the industry? Listen, you leave me those comments. Give me a like and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, not only on YouTube, but on Instagram. I'm not hard to find. Look up your buddy CJ. Send me those instant messages. Keep them coming. I'm interacting with a lot of you guys. We're talking about cars and everything else. If you're in the market for a Porsche 911 and you're thinking about the Carrera T, let me know. And I'm going to try to talk you out of it. If you're in the market for a Ferrari F80, I want to talk to you as well. Are you one of the lucky 799 dudes who are getting one of those things? Come on. That's an incredible car. God bless you. But anyway, folks, regardless of what you're driving, if it's got four wheels and an engine, let's keep enjoying this hobby. Guys, and until I see you on the next one, have a good one. Be safe. Peace.